Hello, this is Mr. Huff. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this. And this is just kind of a general overview for all of my classes. So let's look at an assignment. In this case, we're looking at aerospace history. When I give you a requirements template like this, follow that to guide your research and follow this to develop your slide decks to support presentations or submissions. So in this case, I want to Google Slides. So look at the title. Think about when, who is credited, what it was, what happened previously that led up to that achievement or the advancement, and then what happened after that achievement or advancement. What did it, so how did it influence? Right here, these last two on point 5 and point 6, we want to understand the context of the achievement. These things don't happen in a vacuum, so we need to know the ideas that led up to it and the things that came after it. And really, I want to see the things that are close to it. I don't want to see, hey, the first one of these was invented 100 years ago, and then we skip 100 years and talk about the one that just happened now. So fill in some of that gap. For these, I would expect to see like maybe 2 or 3 things. So for each one. Also, we need to talk about APA references, and that's probably a separate video. But APA is focused on who said it and when they said it. Make sure you're getting the right content in your APA references. And also it says in this, you're going to, somewhere in here, it talked about quotes. You're going to use quotes to introduce topics in your slide decks. Each quote will be on its own slide with an in-text citation. So make sure you don't miss things like that. I probably should make that bold so it stands out a little more. I know I mentioned it in class. So let's just look at how you could lay this out in your slide deck before you even start writing. So I'm going to go to the overview for everything. Notice I went in and I put some quotes. I have my topic title, when, who, what happened previously with one slide, another quote, and then what happened in the future. And this one is done in 3 slides, and then I have my APA references. Let's go look at this a little more closely. So I would say on your title slide, make sure you always have a topic title, your names, and class period. This helps me figure out who gets credit and what class you're in. This is what a quote might look like, so you could have your words there, the person who said it, and when. Remember, APA is about chronology. Okay, and then the when, you could talk about the things that were happening in the world and when it actually happened. I would expect to see some pictures to support these, and I wouldn't put in this text. I would actually just replace that with what the actual date was, and I would replace these with historical events around that same time. Then another quote might look like this. Again, you have the author and who said it. If the author's name is in part of the quote, you only need the date. So go check your APA format rules. There's a lot of places to do that. I will probably talk about that here in a moment. Let's keep going. And then this might be what your who slide looks like. So it's credited, who's the organization or individuals. You might give a little more detail, maybe put some fun facts about them, but have a picture and tell us who. This is an example of another quote. Again, we're attributing it to a specific person and date. And I like to use these as either introductions or summaries of what you just talked about. So you could use it to guide us into the next part or to kind of wrap up what you just talked about. The what, so how did it occur, what was it, and what were the factors that pushed for it? So like if you were talking about Hiroshima, you would talk about the political climate, and then that Germany had a nuclear program, and the U.S. needed to be on that as well, so you could talk about that. This is on one slide, so you could have like 2 or 3 points listed here and then have some images to support those. And then in your presentation, you would be expanding on these things that led up to it, hopefully in some sort of order. Another way to do that would be, again, here's a quote that might talk about the future, and then you have the future. Another way to do that would be to have and focus on one development at a time on a slide. So this one would be one with a picture, you would have another one with a picture, and you would have another one with a picture. Okay, so you would have those on multiple slides perhaps. Again, make your presentation work for you and support what you're doing. And then the last thing is the APA references. I know it's hard to match the format, make the format look correct in Google Slides. So really, I'm just interested in content. So look at this. You have the author, when it was published or written, not the retrieved from. It's nice, but it's better to get actually when that article was produced, and then the title and where it was at. So that's what you're looking for. And most of the time, you guys are going to be using links. So this would be your connection to your links. So you might have this one down here. You have a author, the date, and then the title of the article, where it came from, and when it was retrieved. So that's a sample of the APA references. So I want to point you to some useful information you have access to through PLTW. So when you log in, you will see a link that says courses. So you're going to click that. And then you will see your courses that you're signed into. And so you might see aerospace, civil engineering, intro, and that sort of thing. But the thing I really want to point your attention to is this one. General Student Resources. All of you have access to this. What PLTW did is they took some content that was shared across all of their engineering courses and said all students need to have access to this. So it's all in one place, and you can kind of see where things are here. You can use the search tool here to get to what you need. So this is under professionalism and ethics, and when you have citing sources, it will talk about APA referencing. It gives you some links where you can find more information. Purdue OWL is a really popular resource, but it gives you some examples of in-text citations. Notice the parentheses, authors, dates, and then the APA references at the end. So it gives you the basic format here. It gives you some examples of journals. It gives you some examples of websites. It gives you some examples of magazines. So you can kind of use these to go in and look. I'm going to caution you again, when you use your extensions that generate your citations, make sure you're getting the author, when it was published, titles, and then your links, and not just retrieved on. You should be able to find a date when it was published and written, because we want to know who said it and when they said it, not when you retrieved it. That's the important thing. So this is a resource you can use to go learn more about APA referencing in about 4 pages of reading. It's not bad. Go check that out. All right, that's all I have. Thank you so much.